This is my project for intermediate interactive audio, so this is Bod's Seaside Adventure. It's a game I've made inside Unity using Wwise. So you can see inside the menu you've got the options of changing the language and the volumes. So we've got 3 languages you can select from. You can choose English, Oddish or Farsi. Inside the first level there are lots of different characters that you can interact with, and there are some fun little things to discover. Everything kind of designed around the sound.
Ahoy!
Oddish is kind of based around the way that I like to play games, in that sort of Zelda-y style when characters just make a noise.
اگه چریدن تو جزیره کردی بار تو کشتی مدوسه گیز تا بفهمی یه دوست دریایی چطور زندگی میکنه.
So you play as this little guy and you just run around. You can collect shells, and then there's some things you can do once you've collected your shells. As you can see, you've got an inventory, and that kind of gives you some goals for as you're running around. There's lots of different footstep sounds depending on lots of different surfaces. It's all done with a terrain detector, which is basically using like a raycast, which is checking what tile you're standing on top of.
These windows will be sparkling when I'm done.
You can buy an ice cream from a Yeti.
Barbara at the photography club said I'd never get a shot of a real-life pirate ship. Look at me now, Barbara.
The sounds of the shells in your pockets does change depending on how many shells you've picked up, and that's using an RTPC on the Switch. The music in the first level, so the percussion in that music is being controlled by how many shells you're carrying as well. So once you're done on the first level, you just head back to the captain and you can come back and speak to him, and then he will let you progress on to the second level.
If you've had your fill of island shenanigans, hop aboard the Medusa's Gaze for a taste of the pirate life.
So very different ambience here. You've got a squeaking of the ship. You can hear some waves outside, some distant seagulls.
Snooping around, paws off our treasure.
میپلکی از ست گنج نخوره.
So this area is using a reverb zone, and that just sort of gives you the impression of being inside a big wooden vessel. Once you're done, you can go back outside by heading towards the stairs. Now we're out in the rain, and it's very different. It's night time, everybody's gone inside. Some thunder, some frogs, just giving that sort of calm, serene and yet slightly dramatic ambient sound. So we've got now some puddle footsteps which I've added in. So this was basically done by taking the floor tile that was there previously and making a duplicate of that. So now the terrain detector is deciding that you're standing on top of wet tile. My favourite addition to the whole project, this lovely sound of standing underneath the umbrellas. You can hear all of the rain pattering on top of the parasol. Of course, the waves as you get closer to the sides of the island, getting louder and more dramatic. And the music is much more gentle in this scene. When you enter into the area of these pirates in the third level, as you'll notice, it'll bring back in their pirate theme that you can hear when you're on the ship. So the music for all of the game was written by myself, so I worked really hard to make all of the sounds sort of consistent, and the idea is that everything should feel very sort of realistic but whimsical.